So this is my review on Tim Burton's Alice in Wonderland. I've done 2 reviews, so I'm a little tired. Okay, so just stick with me. So the movie opens up as Alice wakes up from being in Wonderland and tells she had a dream, and she asked her father if she's gone mad, and says, "I'm afraid you have, but the most brilliant people in the world are mad." So eventually, doesn't really. I can't remember what happens to her father, but anyway, she's about to get married to this douche. That's a complete moron and, well, completely out of Alice's league. So she sees this white rabbit. If you can see it, there's a white rabbit. And falls down the rabbit hole, literally. And she takes this potion and makes her shrink. And she's convinced throughout the complete 2 hours until the very end of the film that it's not that it's only a dream. And we have to listen to keep on saying it's just a dream. And which doesn't make sense because she never really went to bed at all. She just fall down a rabbit hole. That would make sense. This would make sense if this was the original storyline to the Disney movie Alice in Wonderland, but it's not. It's actually a sequel continuation to it. So anyway, it's a sequel / spin-off of it / reboot. So she meets, reunites with her friends in Wonderland, and the Mad has gone a little strange. He's not the colorful Mad Hat he once was, but he's become more under serious stress and has become a slightly darker Mad Hatter than we saw him last time due to the Red Queen's ass decisions. And her and her friends are working out a plan to get rid of the Red Queen permanently. So they have tea time, like the Outlast, and the Red Queen doesn't recognize Atlas for some reason. I guess because she's gotten older and bigger. But however, everyone else recognizes that she's Alice. And it's not like the Red Queen hasn't seen Alice big before. Like she drinks this cake that makes her giant, and it's not like, and somehow this lets the Red Queen accepts the Red Queen into a cult. She gets accepted into the Red Queen's cult. At least I think that's what it is. Anyway, so one of the Red Queen's guy that hits on the Red Queen, who is now hitting her out because of the size of her head is bigger than the Red Queen's. And it's as weird as it sounds. And anyway, so she runs in, so she gets figure out somehow it's Alice through dumbass's decisions, and because she run into the Mad Hatter while he was making hats for the Red Queens, and because she got kidnapped and making hats now for the Red Queen. And Alice points out what he's doing and asks, has he gone mad? And he says, I'm afraid you have. And it says, but the most brilliant people are mad. And so, anyway, she goes to the White Queen, which puts her in down to proper size Alice. And next time, that Alice sees Alice, he's a little creepy excited. He says, this is perfect size and perfect for Alice. And, which is kind of funny and creepy at the same time, but anyway, it's, so Alice and her friend team up against the Red Queen after Giant Jeff's Mad Hatter gets saved by the cat and breaks the Hatter free, and the rest of Alice's friends. And this worm that says, I can't help you if you don't know who you are, you stupid girl. The last time you were at this place, you called it Wonderland. And then she realized, holy shit, it's not a dream. And neither was the thing that I had when I was a little kid. That was a dream. So, it's a little confusing when I say out loud. But anyway, it's Tim Burton house in Wonderland, so when stuff not confusing. Plus, it's a Disney flick. Actually, it's not fair. Disney flicks are usually less confusing than this thing. So it's Alice in Wonderland and Tim Burton, and of course, stuff is usually confusing at some level. So anyway, they team up and take down the Red Queen and imprison the Red Queen after slaying Red Queen's dragon. And Red Queen's one of Red Queen's guy, kind of boyfriend she fell in love with, because he on the Red Queen, and which he on she suddenly turns on the Red Queen and tries to kill the Red Queen, but is gets saved and going to be in prison with that guy. And suddenly that's instantly thrown away when we get to Alice in the Looking Glass, and we don't know how the Red Queen escaped. So anyway, this very funny yet very confusing adventure that Alice has been on, as she has learned to dance the Hatter dance when she gets back, and to be herself, the more colorful, happy version of herself. And dumps the douche, calls Wendy off, and calls her grandmother crazy that she needs to have help about this prince that she's having delusions of. And so, and she goes sailing because, and the script says so, because the script says so, okay? And because it's a dream, and there's no saying that it says somewhere in this film that was her dream. It's kind of thrown in the last minute or so of the film. Anyway, so the old caterpillar turned into a butterfly, and we don't see him in the next film, who told Alice that she called this place Wonderland. We don't see him in that film, and we don't know what happens to him, or if he just met his end and died. And I like this film, but it is a little confusing when you think about it. But not to Iron Man 3 levels of confusing. Anyway, the characters are likable, the acting's good, and the color grading wasn't as good as is advertised on the poster or the Blu-ray or DVD case. So that was Alice in Wonderland. I kind of love this film, actually. And that's all I gotta say.